Hey guys, Sublord here, back again with another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the Transformers Legacy Evolution Deluxe Class Junkion Crashbar, brought to us by the fine folks over at Hasbro, as well as my good buddy Evil Villain. Click the link in the description below. Head on over to his Instagram, give him a follow, let him know Overlord sent ya. Now, we looked at Trashmaster yesterday. While he was cool, I think Crashbar is a little cooler. But why don't we cut right to the chase and get into the meat and taters of this review and take a look-see at all he has to offer in terms of accessories, starting off with these two chunky blasters. Yeah, these are kind of whatever, if I'm being honest. He does have these two pipes on his back here, which do add some intimidation factor. Not gonna lie. But I think his coolest accessory... Looks like that one was a little crooked there. But I think his coolest accessory lies within his wheel here. Just gotta pry it off. Which can be easier said than done, apparently. And I always end up dropping it. You son of a monkey. Alright, there. But folding up his very bare, now, leg, we get this cool shuriken wheel weapon that you could plug on his arm as a shield. Have him cut some mofos up. Or plug it onto one of the blasters here. And give him a pinwheel of death. Now what sucks is none of these guys have something where you could plug it into the side. I thought maybe these pegs would work. No. These pegs would work. No. It's a missed opportunity to not give them like a chainsaw thing, but whatever. Take a closer look at Crashbar here. He's got some cool Beelzebub horns going on. Again, he's got the pipes up here. As far as his articulation goes, his head, look all around really. Shoulders pop out, back down, forward and back. He's got a bicep swivel. I think he's got a double elbow. Not, he's got a really good single. Swivel at the wrist, waist twist. Hips can kick out, back down, forward, back. Get your thigh swivel down by the knee. He's got a single jointed knee, which without the wheel you get a lot more out of. And then he does have a little bit of play in the foot. Not a lot. I guess one of these feet or legs is a little longer than the other. I don't think so. I didn't notice that on mine. But I did notice it on a review of the other guy that uses this mold, Road Pig. Who's cool, but he's not a Junkion. He's like a G2 Decepticon. So that's not going to help me get closer to that Junkosaurus combiner thing, which is something I would like to do. I'm gonna plug these on the sides of his arms like this. I think that's a little better. Then we'll take this. Like, look at this. This is almost like you could almost do this and then have a chainsaw arm. Nope. We're not going to be Ash Williams crap here, apparently. Just plug this on the end here. I can get it on the end. What the heck? There we go. There. Now he's got his spinny saw blade of death. Whee! Which is pretty freaking cool. Or should I say pinwheel of death? Standing him up there. I do like him a little more than Trashmaster, but I really think like the lockdown mold for these guys, which I've already reviewed once and gonna look at 2 more times actually over the next couple of days, probably the superior mold for these Junkions, but yeah, this guy's a close second. I do really like him. Bringing our 2 regulars here, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibilith, and the infamous 11 Spawn, who, as usual, towers over everyone. So, with that being said, it's time now that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and while I do believe that good old Crashbar is a step above Trashmaster, I don't think he's as good as Scraphook or Jalopy, who we will be taking a look at over the next couple of days. Eagle Eye viewers, however, might remember my review of Lockdown from some time ago, who utilizes the same body mold. What can I say? It's a good mold, despite its shortcomings, and by far my favorite of these newly created Junkions. So, with that being said, before we wrap this sucker up, why don't we get good old Crashbar here transformed and take a closer look at his vehicle mode. And as promised, here we have good old Crashbar in his motorcycle mode, which, you know, I feel like the arse end could use a little work. I really don't know why this piece sticks out as far as it does. I kind of wish it was more flush. But it does hold together really well thanks to the pipes and these big old cannon saddlebag thingies. But of course you can roll him back and forth. Whee! Whee! But the cool thing you can do with this guy, if I set him like that for a moment, if you have the 2 car Junkions, you can pop the front ends off, snap them on. Now, it's not perfect, but I very well could have something misaligned that's causing it to be imperfect. But if you have the car Junkions, you could pretty much make 3/5 of the Death Clock motorcycle, which is pretty cool. Granted, these aren't big old skulls, but, you know, close enough. I mean, we're never going to get a real one, so might as well settle for this, right? Don't ask. But putting those aside, yeah, I like little Crashbar here. You know, he's a motorcycle like most of the Junkions from the '87 movie, but he's different. He's special. So, with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time, catch you guys later.